have fond memories of growing up at the lake or spending some time at a family member's lake house? In Bloomingdale, New Jersey, which is a small borough at the top of Passaic County, there are four private lakes that have homes on them. Then there is Oakwood Lake, which is a small public lake in town. And then there is Star Lake, which is owned by the Salvation Army. So two of the lakes that I'm going to talk about today are Kampfe Lake, New Jersey, and Glen Lake, New Jersey. Both of these are private lakes that have not developed the land all around the lake. So you've got the lake in the middle, and then there's houses along the edge of the lake, and then there is forest. Both of them back up to Norvin Green State Forest. So you literally could walk out the door of your house, walk on the private land for a little while, and then head out into Norvin Green. So the hiking is exceptional. Now, telling you about these lakes, they're super private. So if you are interested in going to take a closer look, please give me a call. Or if you know a friend or somebody who lives in one of the lakes, but don't just go there. Very, very protective of their lakes because they are nice, small communities, and people just coming in, part of the whole sense of it is that strong sense of community. So they're super wonderful, welcoming people, but don't just go to these properties, unaccompanied by either a real estate professional, or of course, if you have a friend or a family member that lives in the lake, you could just give them a call and say, hey, I'd love to take a closer look at Kampfe or Glen. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a compare and contrast on Kampfe and Glen Lake. So really, I'm going to title the video, What's Better, Glen or Kampfe? And really, there is no answer to that. Both of these lakes are really wonderful places. I'll go over Glen first. Glen is 111 acres. It does have a centralized clubhouse where there is a summer program for children in the summers. There's a sand beach. There are pickleball courts. There are hiking trails, as I mentioned, that go into Norvin Green State Forest. There's a softball field. Glen Lake is condominium ownership, but you own the house and you own the land that it is sitting on. The houses vary. In the last year, the prices have gone from, I think the lowest was $426, and that was for a house that wasn't directly on the water but does have its own dock. And then the highest price was $1,360,000 for a very large, beautiful house, right on the water with a beautiful view. Most of the homes on Glen are directly on the lake, but all of the homes have their own dock space. Glen is very recreational. Active sailing club, active fishing club. There's always a pickleball game going on. Volleyball is super popular. There's a group that gets together and plays volleyball multiple times a week during the season. Our swim team, I say ours, I live at Glen Our swim team is super active. The name of the lake is Glen Lake Swim Camp, and the swim team has been a champion, I think undefeated a couple of years back, which was super exciting. Now, Kampfe Lake is another beautiful lake. It's a little bit farther north. It is tucked into Norvin Green State Forest. Kampfe Lake has a beautiful gazebo. One of the really wonderful things about Kampfe Lake is that the lot sizes are a lot bigger than at Glen I think they're a half acre minimum. So you have a lot more space around your house. On Glen Lake, some of the homes are closer together. Of course, they're all different, but there's a lot more homes. There's 155 on Glen and I think Kampfe only has like 26, but you've got bigger lot sizes. You can walk around the lake. Kampfe Lake is very clean. It is very deep, excellent for swimming, boating. The Kampfe Lake community is also a very tight-knit, close community that has activities and parties, and everybody knows each other. So you do have that wonderful sense of community. So either Glen Lake or Kampfe Lake are both absolutely wonderful private lake communities. Realistically, if we're going to say, like, if I was going to jump in the car and go to New York City right now, you're looking at 30 miles away. In the Borough of Bloomingdale, there is a bus, a New Jersey Transit bus that comes right down Main Street. That bus is going to take you a little longer if you went down to the Park and Ride in Willowbrook. There are buses direct to the city. So Kampfe Lake and Glen Lake would utilize the same New Jersey Transit buses. There's also buses at Meadtown, which is in Kinnelon. The Borough of Bloomingdale is close by Route 287, Route 23. We also have all the big box stores, Target, Walmart, BJ's, all those are close by. There's a Starbucks close by. The Borough of Bloomingdale also has a nice little main street with some restaurants. We've got a beautiful family-owned garden center that is, you know, wonderful for gifts and plants, just a nice place to walk around. Excellent hiking. You know, either one of the lakes has access to Norvin Green State Forest, literally out your back door. If you would like to learn more about any of the real estate at either Kampfe Lake in northern New Jersey or Glen Lake, I would be delighted to show you what is actively available right now, give you a little bit of an idea of what the houses go for, what you could expect. I would love to be able to help you out. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.